basically, we started using this model in 2016 when I arrived at the college. Not that BMCC was not using supplemental instruction prior to my arrival, but we began to really focus on it and expand its use across the campus. It's not something we made up. It's founded on a model that was developed in 1973 at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. And they do very intense training and certification of SI trainers and SI leaders. Our staff have gone through that training. So we are fully versed in what that model is. It's currently used in over 800 colleges. The goal of SI is to help students master course content while developing effective learning, critical thinking, and study strategies. So it's more than reiterating content. It's showing students how to learn and helping them identify how they best learn and having them collaborate in the learning process in the out-of-class sessions. And you can also use the SI in the class to have these breakout groups and work with students in this way. So we already heard from Dean Schultz about the higher pass rates. I just want to reiterate one thing that he said. It's attending 5 or more sessions outside of the class that is that critical number that impacts the grade, the retention, and lowers the withdrawal rates of students. So you want to encourage your students. It's not just having the SI leader. It's not just knowing that there are out-of-class sessions. It's really encouraging students, however you can, to attend those out-of-class sessions, knowing now, because we've just told you how impactful they are. This is an academic enrichment program that is focusing on historically difficult courses. What does that mean? It means it's not the student that we're focusing on. It's the courses that have low pass rates and high rates of DF and withdrawals. You heard from Dean Schultz that that W grade in the first semester is a high predictor of the student leaving the college and not pursuing a degree. So we want to do everything we can to support them so they don't withdraw. So we want them to feel they belong here and that there are people like them, their peers, who are here to help them. The SI doesn't replace the in-class lectures. It's really, as I mentioned, a discussion, a review session. It's facilitated by our students who are trained SI leaders. Our PAL leaders, our tutors are all trained. We're on the road to having all our tutors certified. And Gia can discuss that when she does her presentation. But we are very focused on training. And anytime you need an update, you can just reach out to the LRC and they'll be happy to give you an update. So anyway, let me move on. Okay, so we expanded, that's fine. We don't have to talk about that. We have an SI advisory board. I think that's important to mention. It's comprised of staff and faculty at BMCC who have been using SI or have trained to be experts in SI. And we meet usually ongoing over the course of the semester to plan events like this. And I want to thank that advisory board. I also want to thank the staff of the Learning Resource Center and the faculty who have worked with us to plan and facilitate today's event. And you're going to meet all of them as you go into your breakout rooms and hear some of the presentations. We worked on a website that will highlight our supplemental instruction work, and that should be up soon. Currently, we're offered across the curriculum, so a lot of different subjects. We're trying to get more SI in English, math, and speech. Those are the gateway courses that are most challenging for our students. Not to say that the other disciplines are not challenging and that SI would not be effective there, but we know these are the problem areas, and we know if students don't pass speech, English, and math, they're not going to continue in their studies. So we've been using this supplemental instruction model for almost 5 years. And one of the things we see is one size does not fit all. Even taking the original model from the University of Missouri at Kansas City, we had to tweak it a little bit because the strictness of that model did not fit how our faculty teach, how our students learn, and how our SI leaders work with students. So we did tweak the model. Now we're ready to do another tweak. topic. And so I've given a whole slide to the BMCC Innovative Peer-to-Peer Assisted Learning. I don't want you to get too bogged down in the names of the different modalities or the differences. We're going to explain that. What I want you to know is you have options. So the traditional SI is when the SI leader attends every class session. With peer-assisted learning, the PAL leader attends class sessions as needed. So that's up to you and them. I recommend they're there in the beginning of the semester because that connection with the students will get the students to go to out of class sessions. It's this fear of the unknown. It's this thought that I'm going to tutoring because I'm not good enough. I'm not, I'm incapable of learning. We have to get rid of that type of thinking from students and let them know that other students struggle with this class. You are not alone. If you have a question, ask it because other people have that same question. It's giving them the power and the ability to craft those questions and ask those questions. Our tutoring, we want our tutors to be able to visit classes. So even if you don't have SI in every class, consider a tutor visit, especially if we have tutoring in that discipline. And if we don't, try to make an effort to get us a tutor in that discipline because we want to have tutoring across the curriculum. Again, we want the tutors to visit your class because then the students get to see who the tutor is and they don't feel like at a loss when they go to the LRC. And right now it's all virtual, so they don't go to the LRC. So our SI leaders hold sessions outside of class, but our PAL sessions are bigger and they're going on more and they're going on across course sections. So let's say you teach a class like Speech 100. And let's say there are, I don't know, there are a lot of Speech 100 classes. And I'm a student in one of those classes. And I can't make it to my particular PAL leader session. Let's open up those sessions across courses, right? The same course, so that students have the flexibility of going to different sessions. So there might be PAL sessions in speech that happen from 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, varying times, because they're happening across sections. That's a discipline-based decision. We have a very effective PAL model in math, and you're going to hear about that in a little while. I'm not going to do the data. Dean Schultz did a great job, but I will reiterate one more time, is that magic number of coming to a session 5 or more times.